Hello, thank you for listening. All right, I'm going to quickly go through some tips and tricks for trusting your intuition. I know many of you have been asking me lately, okay, Diana, I'm starting to listen to my intuition, but I don't know how to trust it. I don't know how to follow it, and I'm scared I'm going to miss a really important message. My best advice to you is to do the following. Give yourself space and time to receive your intuitive message. Have an intuitive journal. You heard me talk about this before. The important part of an intuitive journal is having somewhere where you can write down the guidance you're getting without worrying about forgetting it, even if it's just point form, and then you can look back to it. And I've even done this many times where I'm showing my friends or my partner at the time, I'm going, look, I wrote this down, and then it happened, and that was really great advice, and that builds some trust. But most importantly here is when you get an intuitive message, you're giving it space and time to land. So and I'm not talking about an hour, 2 hours, you have to go for a 3-hour hike, although that would be nice to let it land and integrate. I'm talking about 5 minutes. You get an intuition, sit down, take a pause, let it land. Again, 3 to 5 minutes. We don't need to do this for too long. Maybe write down a couple of little notes, make a voice memo, whatever feels right for you. And then the next step is really important. Then we're going to let it go. We're going to let it go. We're going to let it come in. We're going to receive it, be grateful for it, and then we're going to let it go. A lot of times we have these worries that if we don't receive it properly, if we don't trust it, then we're going to miss it. Then that opportunity for that intuitive guidance is going to be gone. And that's just not the case. If it is valuable for you, if your higher self decides this is a really important message, it's going to come back. And it's going to come back in a very similar, if not exactly the same way as it did the first time. The same image, the same feeling, the same thought is going to jump back in. The more open and receptive but relaxed we are, the easier it is for our intuition to come through. So when we're vacuuming, for me, it's often blow drying my hair, when I'm going for a quiet walk and I'm not actively seeking intuition, that's when it falls in, where it's a very passive, but I'm in a very receptive state. That's when it comes in. I make space for it. I'm very almost passive and receiving it as well. So I'm observing this intuition. I'm not getting overly attached to it. I'm not trying to break it apart and interpret every detail. In that moment, I'm just receiving it. That's my job, is just to receive the intuition. And then I'm letting it go. The letting go part is so important. If we have any desperation involved, oh, I have to know this intuition, please give me this guidance now, it's actually going to repel your intuition. It's really going to make understanding the intuition very hard as well. So again, I want you to make space. Even if it's 3 to 5 minutes, you make space to receive the intuition, okay? Maybe jot it down very quickly, point form, and then you're going to let it go. If it needs to come back again, if you didn't properly receive it and integrate it, and so much of this is going to land back in our subconscious. So we're not going to be consciously thinking about this message, but when we need that information, when we need that guidance, it will come back from our subconscious into our conscious. I promise you that. You're not going to forget it. And if for whatever reason it wasn't properly or fully received, you will get it again. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for more on your intuition. Bye-bye.